10 tips that can majorly help you in your cryptocurrency investing journey. I've been investing since 2016. I've seen my fair share of cycles now, my fair share of halvings, my fair share of my own mistakes, and seen other people's. This is a nice list to help you. Please do though, comment if you want me to do a full dedicated video on one of these tips. There's quite a few, there's 10 as I say, so some of them are quite big. Now, some people, in my opinion, overcomplicate things. They don't take it seriously, or they have no idea what on earth they're doing or why they're investing in cryptocurrency because they've seen someone down the pub saying, invest in this. And they're like, whoa. So let's dive in. Get over 1,000 likes, please. So please do like the video. Now, the first tip is quite an easy one, really. It's all about risk. In my opinion, a lot of people don't quite understand the risks of investing in crypto, which is mad, I know, right? So this is an article on Fidelity, really obvious one. Let's talk about some of the risks, right? Volatility. They go up, they go down a lot, and they go to zero most of the time. Regulation uncertainties. There's no regulation elements here. This is a lot of like elements of attraction to a lot of people, but sometimes it might not be. So you got to look at that as a factor. The most obvious one is obviously securities and scams. Stolen crypto, no protection. New coins are scammy. Now, remembering the risk here, people want to get rich quick, and that's really obvious. But that is also a big factor of why you probably are losing money in crypto. We're going to come on to the fundamental elements of investing in a second, but in terms of like the risks of crypto, you're probably going to lose a lot of your money, basically, right? So when we start looking at the benefits, you've got obviously the independence, accessibility, and all these kind of stuff. Yeah, but people don't even get to this bit, which is a bit of a problem, right? Tip number 2 is doing your own research. Now, I get asked this question a lot. What do I look for? I just copy people on my Discord nowadays because they're really, really good. No, I don't really. But you need to look at the coin, the asset. First thing you need to do, go on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, which is what I'm on now. You need to then look at all the metrics, the data, the volume, who's in the team, what are they doing, white paper, technical papers, right? Do they have a product, right? You need to do your own research. You need to have conviction in your own ability to then put money into something to then be trusted with it. Now, we're going to come on to the next bit. The next tips are your most obvious and the best tip in the world. But you are putting your money, your faith into what's on the screen. Ton coin, for example, right? What if something goes wrong? With the regulation elements, there might be a scam. There might be phishing links that you may lose your crypto. The risk is you might buy the top of this and it might go down to a lot lower value in terms of what you bought for. So you need to do your research. Not everyone likes to do research, so they tend to go on YouTube and they tend to look for things. Trust me, this video goes in a round circle and it'll make all clear sense very, very soon. So don't skip ahead, right? But you need to understand first the risk of crypto. Tip 1. Then you need to understand you need to do your own research to understand what you are going to invest in. And then we're going to talk about the basic fundamentals of something in tip 3. Unfortunately, there's a degree of luck, mainly probability, but there is no magic formula. You need to do these simple things. You need to buy as far away from all-time high as possible in an asset that you've done your research on that is currently undervalued. That is kind of as magic as you're going to get it. There's no secret sauce. There's no like magic indicator that's going to tell you what to buy. There's no magic list on someone's like watch list that's going to go up to the moon. I like things, but I'm a normal person. I'm just a normal 32-year-old guy who likes to wear his slippers when he does his videos, and I like to invest and speculate on things. And sometimes they make me money, sometimes they don't. The element of investing is this. You know this little thing here? It's called a watch. Time. Time is the best currency in the world, right? If you buy something at a good time and you sell at a good time, there's a good chance you make money. But also time in the market and experience is the magic formula, really. Look at what happens when you invest for a long period of time. You understand, you learn, you get experience, and you get better and better and better. Kind of the position that I'm in right now. Some people come into the market very, very new and raw, and they want to buy, say, Polkadot, random example here, 3-day time frame, at like peak levels of like huge, euphoric feelings and it melts. There's a reason for the melt. It's not because it's crap. It's just because the market has tanked, because the market cycles have changed. It's gone to a bear market. So all of those kind of things together will give you time in the market, will give you experience and understanding when you're in the market of what's happening. Bull, bear market, sideways, accumulation, whatever it may be. So understanding that. But there is realistically no golden goose here, I'm afraid. Time in the market is king. Now, this one's a kicker for a lot of people. Don't have too many coins. I've been there. I know, I've been there. I remember my first cycle having about 20 coins, thinking I'm going to make a lot of money here. But actually, it turns out it's the opposite effect. There's currently, at the moment, 2.4 million coins on CoinMarketCap. That's only what's registered. Now, it's quite easy to get registered on here anyways. But realistically, do you need that many? I'm often telling people in my own communities to narrow down how many you've got because it's very, very hard to keep on top of it. For 3 reasons. Reason number 1, your brain's going to explode. Reason 2, when you report it for taxation, it becomes a nightmare and you have to do it, certainly if in certain countries, they are clamping down. Sorry, I know. And number 3 is, I know, trying to take profit on the freaking things is becoming a ball ache. I shit thee not, experience talking. I've had people that would message me or put it in my chats, I bought something, but I can't remember where I bought it. That kind of vibe happens a lot. A lot of people forget where they've got things. I myself have done that before. I've literally went onto some random exchange and think, oh, found $500. Ooh. It happens, right? So try not to get too bogged down in that many. It will make sense as we go along in this video why I say this, because it makes sense. You only have 0 to 100% risk allocation. That's all you can use, right? There's nothing, if you put 1% in about 300 coins, you're not going to get very far when they're all like 0.2% risk, right? Some people do that and they try and get rich. You are not going to become a millionaire by putting $50 into a lot of coins. You're not. It just doesn't happen. What you tend to see, and this is obvious, is people that win big tend to bet big. There are some freak stories, but when you think about it in terms of average amounts, would you put $1,000 or $2,000 into something that's just brand newly launched at like a $300 market cap or something daft? Some people do that and they sometimes get very, very wrecked, but there's a few freak results. Don't get caught out by those freak results, right? Trust me. They are very, very lucky and isolated. Tip number 5 is all about leverage. Leverage. Some people don't use this very well. Some people use it very well. Now, there's a link below to BitGet. I'm going to cover exchanges in a second because there's a very, very important tip here, which I want to come on to. Now, you can, on BitGet, utilize futures markets for leverage on, wait for it, the underlying asset. So if you've got Bitcoin and you want to say you grow your Bitcoin, you can do a leveraged long. But I would only recommend no more than a 2 or a 3x, right? Utilizing obvious senses of education. But the point of this is, don't do it the opposite way, which is I'm going to do a 25x or a 100x or whatever on a obvious stupid position. You will get liquidated. Too many people go into leverage too quickly and they lose. You need to be experienced and understand the market and understand cycles and the narrative, and then you can find a good position at the bottoms of the market and put a low leverage order in on a separate bag that you can afford to lose and hopefully make a little bit more money with the loot that you've got. That's kind of the point of it. But yeah, I'm not a massive advocate of leverage. I do teach it. My company teaches it, but in a safe and controlled manner. Try not to go crazy. But yeah, too many people do. They do. The first thing they want to do is open up a futures account and go, yeah, let's make money, because they're seeing people doing it. Doesn't work like that. Trust me. Tip number 6, sign up to many exchange accounts now, not when the herd arrive. Get as many exchanges sorted. If you've got to do KYC, do it. It takes time. Get your on-ramps and your off-ramps sorted so you can get in and out of the market at certain points. When everyone arrives at this market, a bull market, these crash. I recommend BitGet. I recommend a couple of others. There's a link below to this one. Ultimately, they crash, right? Because mass people. And also they're Customer support lines can't cope with the demand for KYC, and it gets a bit savage. So you want to try and get a vehicle out the market if you so wish to. Some wallets have built-in capabilities to swap from, say, I don't know, Bitcoin to Tether, whatever. But sometimes they don't have it for everything, so you got to use an exchange. Use and abuse them, right? Do not hold on them. Make sure you've got a wallet. There's a link below to like wallets and stuff like that in terms of Tangdem. Just please be safe, but also have accounts open. Trust me, you do not want to have just one exchange account and then you can't sell some of your coins because you bought something random. Yeah, it becomes a bit of a nightmare. So get all your accounts sorted before the herd come. Sounds a bit daft me saying this for one of the tips, but be careful who you listen to. Don't have too many things going on. Over-analysis paralysis, I call it, because you might have too much information to digest. I know a lot of people that are on multiple spaces on Twitter. They're watching many people on YouTube. They're always following the same people on Twitter as well. And if you got all these podcasts running, all these videos running, all these kind of bits, you're going to have a point where you're like, what the hell do I do? Because I don't know, because everyone's got a different opinion. Same with YouTube, right? Look on the screen. You can get really caught up in the emotions of YouTube. Be selective on who you listen to and what you do. You don't want to have too much of this because you will get absolutely battered. I don't watch any crypto-related content. I watch maybe 2 people every now and again. Not very often, but every now and again, just to see what their thoughts are. But that's it. It makes it much easier and more manageable if you are literally listening to your own thoughts and you're making your own opinion on the market, and maybe look at other people for clarity. That's how it works best. Tip number 8 is understanding the basics of technical analysis, right? There's no magic bullet, mentioned it before. But what you need to get is having your balls on the line, big balls, as James Hunt would say, at key levels, right? The trick is, I said it before, is buy as far away from all-time high as possible. When you see, obviously, blow-off tops like this, yeah, $20, woohoo. But when you start looking at key levels, now even here, this $3 level could have been a nice level. It was $20, now $3. Cool. Obviously bounces, goes even lower. Down here, $1.27, goes up and then bottoms out eventually at whatever, $1. Below that. Dollar cost averaging is a huge metric that you need to understand. Ultimately, you also need to understand support levels and resistance levels, and understanding that buying at fair value is a much better thing. Probability is king here, but you've also got to have a degree of risk. Putting a simple moving average on your chart will help you massively. Putting, sport levels on at weekly levels, hugely important. People don't though. And I often get comments going, but it could go lower. And it can, but it could also bounce and, reverse from that point and go up forever like this one has and like most assets have. You've got to buy the dip, ultimately. To understand the market, you've got to understand technical analysis. Then it becomes a bit easier. So tip number 9 is having exit plans. You need to have an exit plan and a strategy in place to get you out of the market with hopefully profit, right? So this is obviously Bitcoin from the swing high to the swing low. Then you've got all these fib levels. You've also got potential extension levels where you could be looking at TP levels in the future. Now, when you look at altcoins, you'll see this, as I said before, buy as far away from all-time high. Boom. Have an exit strategy. You need to get out. You need to make money somewhere, right? Okay, I know people don't, but it makes life so much easier. I do it in my Patreon, where feel free to join, by the way. I do exit plans. People want to see where I would exit in an asset in terms of technical. So if I look at Bitcoin here, this 83,000 could be a massive FOMO level for a lot of people to come back in the market, right? But much higher, 100K, probably a good place for you to take profit if you bought much lower. Maybe 50, this level here might be huge. I know they're all future predictions and people is very, very bullish on Bitcoin long term. But if you get to that point, there's no point looking at your phone or your portfolio going, haha, cool. Shouldn't you not do something about it? Probably. Maybe make some money. So yeah, exit plans are huge. Set them up and have them in line. Also, if you're looking at altcoins, look at the USD pair, but take massive note of the BTC pair, because you may well find that this might fly up, for example, NIA, and you could take profit into Bitcoin. This is a whole new kettle of fish, and I've done videos on this before, but you get the idea. If this goes up, your money's going to go up massively versus some of the other stuff, right? It's not just dependent on Bitcoin, which is huge. And the final thing, which is obvious, I know, take bloody profit. We talk about exit plans, we talk about buying as low as you can, doing your research, all these kind of stuff, right? And right at the end, people fail to do the obvious, right? Why would you spend months doing research? Why would you spend months and maybe even years holding the fucking thing, getting a good entry, dollar cost averaging, but never ever taking profit? That makes no sense at all, right? It's like leaving the house without your shoes on. People do that. Anyways, so on the chart here, you can see like BNB. BNB is a very, very interesting one, right? You can see like obviously the previous high to the low. I mean, there's an obvious level here. If you get to this level here of like 10,000, 11,000 Satoshis, you probably should be taking something off the table. If you bought at these lows, you made double your money in Bitcoin. And obviously in the USD price, it'd be much higher because Bitcoin since update has done massively, massively well. So yeah, take bloody profit, guys, please. Little bonus tip before I go. If you want to learn from me properly, or Gaz, or the team, check out Learning Crypto. Useful. But there we go. Bit of a ranty video, I know. But these are a lot of things that I've seen a lot of people fail with massively. But anyways, please do like the video if you enjoyed it. And most importantly, watch this video that's recommended. This one will help you even further.